I'm Len Rio with the Ativo Group, and I'm here at the Engage conference in Los Angeles, California. And I'm with Steve. Steve is with AP Technology,
AP Technology or Accuprint.
Accuprint. I always get confused with all those names. And Steve has a very interesting suite of technologies surrounding check printing and fraud protection. I'm going to let Steve speak about it and tell us more about the products.
Okay, great. Yeah, we have a suite of solutions. Basically, we provide check security, check printing security for the Macola customers, really any accounting application across the board. Our main product is Secure Check, and that moves people from pre-printed check stock to completely blank check stock. Think of us as a big rubber stamp of graphics right on top of the data out of the accounting application. So we don't change the data whatsoever. We simply look at where the data is, build all the graphics, signatures, logos based on a dollar parameter. We do auditing. We do double logins, email notifications. We do imaging. We do a lot of things to make the whole check printing process a lot more secure internally and externally. It's also very flexible so that if someone changes their company name, their bank gets changed, anything changes, they can go in instead of throwing away all the pre-printed stock and ordering new stuff. They simply make a quick change in the software, save it, and they're printing checks again. Lock down different users, put double logins. It's very flexible software. So again, that's for internal security. Now that's our check printing product. We also offer a Positive Pay software that
What is Positive Pay, Steve?
Positive Pay is where you take your check file register for all the checks you've issued and you convert that into the bank's format and send it off to your bank the way they want to see that, so that they can take, if you write a $20 check and someone grabs that, makes that a $200 check, a $2,000 check, changes the name, well, they might get away with that at a hole-in-the-wall check cashing place, but by the time that gets submitted to your bank for payment, they're going to bring up that Positive Pay file, match up all incoming checks, and they will catch and stop that external check fraud.
Oh, I see. So essentially you're telling the bank in advance, these are the checks I wrote, to whom I wrote them to, and for the amounts that I wrote them.
Absolutely. All the banks have their own profile on what information they want to see, whether the payee, dollar amount, date. And we can, once a day, once a week, whatever schedule you want, go into the check printing system, grab that file, and send it off to the bank so that they have that.
Oh, so it's all automated. So if you have like hundreds of checks in a check run, that whole file just gets sent automatically or created automatically?
It gets created automatically. Now, not all the banks can fully automate that process. Some of the banks can. We're actually the #1 Positive Pay provider in the country. We're partners with 9 of the 10 largest banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, US Bank. They actually sell our Positive Pay or recommend our software. But
I see.
some of those banks can automate it. We're on a schedule once a day, twice a week. It'll go in, convert it, send it off, and do everything, send the file off and notify the customer that that file's been sent. But most of the banks will let you do the whole automation to where the customer, it brings them right up to the website and they just put a username and password and hit transmit.
I see.
So
it makes it pretty easy.
It could be full automation.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
the thing about that is the customers need to know that the bank's going to charge them fees as well. It's what the banks do, obviously.
But check fraud is incredibly expensive.
It is incredibly expensive. This is a very cheap software.
Yeah.
This software is $1,500 for Positive Pay. Anybody who gets hit with a fraudulent check knows how expensive it is to have to close an account, open a new one, cancel checks, reissue checks. It's a nightmare. So
Also, isn't that a Sarbanes-Oxley requirement for some companies?
if you're publicly traded, I don't know if Positive Pay is a requirement, but things like Secure Check, we have email notifications where it notifies multiple people of any and all check printing activity. So if you are publicly traded, you are Sarbanes-Oxley. You need to be Sarbanes-Oxley compliant, and our check printing software actually helps you to do that.
Very good.
The third software we do, real quick, is just called Easy Signer. It's for companies that, let's say you don't want to go to the full check printing solution or Positive Pay. You print a lot of checks, you actually take a pen out and manually sign your signature on checks, and you're tired of doing that. We have an Easy Signer software that basically you run it back through, after you've got your checks, you look, you approve, load it back in a printer, hit print, and it'll take them back to the printer as a second pass and sign them.
Excellent. Steve, thank you very much. These are very interesting tools, and we'll be certain to working with you in the future.
Pleasure.